First question. Raise your hand. How many of you are a little bit nervous about tomorrow? It's okay, be honest. You should be. You should be nervous. It's okay to be nervous. Nervousness feeds the energy that you're going to need to get through that test tomorrow. How many of you are a little bit afraid? We're going to get to fear in a little bit. A little bit afraid about the test tomorrow. Not quite sure what to expect. It's understandable. We're going to talk about fear here in a minute as well. When the going gets tough, what happens? I can't hear you. When the going gets tough, how many of you are tough? It's all, most of what you're going to go through tomorrow, you wouldn't be doing this if you were not ready for it. Grandmaster Steve would not be letting you test tomorrow if you were not ready. If he did not firmly believe that every single one of you would get through that test and would be whatever was probationary all the way up to the senseis that are getting 3rd, 4th, and 5th degree black belts tomorrow. You wouldn't be testing. You've got to believe it yourself. So the first thing, tonight's talk is about how the tough get going. Similar to what talked about in the March camp. And everybody should have one of these cards. There's 2 sides to it. There's a side that has 3 and a side that has 4 on it. Okay? This is about mindset. We've heard it time and time again. 10% what happens and? 90% I'm sorry. It's 90% of how you react, right? 10% of what happens to you, 90% is how you react. That 90% is all up here. That 90% is all in your head. You've got to have the tough get going. You've got to have that mindset. How many times have you said, and I'm going to deviate from what I was planning on talking about a little bit. How many of you, throughout the course of your multiple years of training with Grandmaster Steve, have said, yes, I can? How many times? Now, when you say, yes, I can, do you say it? Oh, yes, I can. How do you say it?
Yes, I can.
Say it again.
Yes, I can.
You have created, over the years, you have built an association. You have created a link between an energy state and a phrase. How many of you, when you said that, felt tingly a little bit? You felt a little bit jacked up. That's because over the years you have developed what Tanya was referring to as a peak state. Tony Robbins talks about a peak state. But what happens is if you're in a heightened emotional state and you have a word or a phrase that you repeat over and over and over again, you condition yourself so that when you say those words or phrases again, the emotion comes back to you like that. So you have already conditioned a phrase. We'll get to conditioning here in a little bit. But you've already conditioned a phrase that will bring back that emotion where you'll just go, ooh, it'll kind of give you a jolt. You're going to need that tomorrow at times. Don't be afraid to just come out and say, yes, I can, if you're struggling, if you hit a wall, if you feel like you need a reset. I'll come back to that in a minute. I want to talk about mindset. This card, take a look at this card. Everybody stand up for me. The first side has 4 words on it that are in bold. Choice, commitment, capability, and change. I have, over the past decade or so, this started when I went to a Tony Robbins event back in November 1st, actually. I remember it as my 2nd birthday. November 1st of 2012. And that was the day I started tracking my life. And I have not had a bad day since then. I don't have bad days. And it's because of my mindset. It's because of my choices that I make. And over the last decade, I've developed this approach, and you've probably heard it before if you've been at Krav. I've talked about it a couple of different times. I'm a professor up at St. Leo, And I've worked with our students and our athletes there over the years to develop and refine this approach. My book is coming out this fall. I'm finishing up the first chapter right now. I've got 7 or 8 more to go. But the second chapter in the book is all about the mindset. Because as we know, 10% what happens and 90% of how you react. That's your mindset. You've got to have that mindset. So the first thing is you want to be in a positive emotional state. We've talked about that before. You do that by realizing this is a choice. You don't have to be here. You do not have to do the test tomorrow. It's a choice. I choose to get my black belt. Say it. Intensity. Say it with me. I choose to get my black belt. Again.
I choose to get my black belt.
This is nothing. This is something you guys have earned for years. Tomorrow is the reward. Tomorrow is when you get to show all the people that have worked with you over the past however many years. In Sensei Kyle's case, how many years have you been going at this? 20 years? 15 years? 21 years. It's taken him 21 years. Tomorrow, he gets to show what those 21 years have done. That is a choice that he has made. That is a commitment. That's the next one. You guys have already made the commitment. We don't need to worry about that one. You've made that commitment, or you wouldn't even be here today. You wouldn't be here this weekend. Capability, critical. Henry Ford once said, whether you think you can't, you think you can, or you think you can't, louder.
Right.
You got to think you can. That's the capability. I have the capability to get through my black belt test tomorrow. Say it.
I have the capability to get to my black belt test tomorrow.
I love it. Everybody should be saying it like Ephraim up here. I'm serious. The more intense you are when you say it, the more your body listens. Grandmaster Steve has talked about that multiple times. I teach that a lot in our leadership classes up at St. Leo. Tony Robbins talks about it all the time. The most successful people in the world. There's a difference between an incantation and an affirmation. What Ephraim just said was an incantation. An affirmation would be saying, oh, I believe I can get through my black belt test tomorrow. Anybody remember Stuart Smiley from the old school Saturday Night Live? I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and God darn it, people like me. And he used to say it with this mousy little voice. That doesn't get you anything. Affirmations do nothing. You have to say it with intensity. You have to say it so that your whole body listens. Your body listens, your body will respond. I have the capability to get through my black belt test tomorrow.
I have the capability to get to my black belt test tomorrow.
Bingo. Next one is choice. Change. Next one's change. Important thing about change is that if something's not working during the test tomorrow, you got to change the approach. The change is going to be this. The change is not in your techniques. You know those techniques. You know how to do them correctly. You know how to do the stress tests. You know how to respond. The change tomorrow is going to come when you hit that wall and you're saying, and you're struggling. You've got to change that mindset. Flip it over to the back. There's one thing on the back. Grandmaster Steve has talked about continuous learning. We've talked about challenge, growth, setting goals, things like that. Courage is going to be the critical thing tomorrow. If you hit that wall, you have to have the courage to push through. I have the courage to complete my black belt test tomorrow.
I have the courage to get my black belt test tomorrow.
Again.
I have the courage to get my black belt test tomorrow.
One more time.
I have the courage to get my black belt test tomorrow.
I love the intensity. I love it. You go ahead and have a seat. How do you feel after you say those? With intensity. With intensity, those emotions, right? That's the power of an incantation. Incantations can get you to this level of emotional intensity, just like, I can't snap. Just like that. Thank you. Everybody, snap for me. Thank you. If I go like that, what are you going to do? Give me a snap. Thank you. So incantations can help. The yes, I can tomorrow. when you're in the middle of that stress test and your friends are cheering you on, and everybody's going to be cheering you on. You're going to be cheering each other on. You're going to be beating each other up, but you're going to be cheering each other on at the same time. That's part of it. Oh, it's going to be a blast. And you should be looking at it that way. This is going to be intense tomorrow, but it is going to be a blast. You guys have been building for this for years. It's nothing to be afraid of.